Okay, thank you. All right. So we're going to be talking about the money flow tracker software that uses mathematical modeling along with artificial intelligence. This is the team at Right Line Trading. That's me up there in the top left-hand corner. We'll have to get the disclaimer out of the way first, the business end. Basically, this is saying that we're not giving any buy, sell, hold recommendations. We're not offering to solicit or buy any futures. We're not making any representation that accounts are likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those we discussed today. And everything we talk about is for educational purposes only. So who am I? So my name is David Kushner. I've been trading the markets for over 20 plus years. I've traded stocks, options, futures, Forex. My background was I had an automotive parts business that I started when I was 18 years old, and I had that business for over 28 years before I sold it in 2005. And since then, I've just been a full-time trader and loving it. So, like most of you, you probably have a whole shelf or hard drives full of indicators, trading systems that came with a lot of empty promises of helping you become more profitable and more consistent trader. And what I say is empty promises. I have probably 3 or 4 hard drives full of stuff that I no longer use. So when I saw the webinar that Mark Sachs did, I was in a webinar just like you are, and I saw the money flow tracker system. I quickly realized that this methodology is not based on the same old indicators that everybody else teaches, but based more on mathematical modeling and triple and quadruple screen analysis. So we only trade with institutional order flow, and it's made me much more profitable and much more consistent trader. And now I'm running over 70% win-loss rate. So the agenda for today is I'm going to explain the money flow tracker software. I'm going to show you the easy setups, the unbreakable rules that we follow, how I trade breakouts and sidestep losing trades. I believe we had 2 today. Yesterday we had 3 or 4, and how to pass the evaluation to become a funded trader. Okay, so those who stay till the end of this presentation, it's about 45 minutes. We'll have a very special offer and a quick action bonus of a bunch of additional software. All righty, so you ever wonder why some traders succeed while others don't? You know, in the world of trading, the difference between success and failure can be as stark as day and night. So let's delve into the reasons why some traders thrive and other traders stumble. First thing, lack of a trading plan. You know, successful traders meticulously plan out their moves. They know what they'll trade, when they'll trade, and how they'll trade. So without a solid trading plan, you're like a ship without a compass, just drifting aimlessly. You have to know what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it every day. And every day we do the same thing. You need an edge, and a unique edge in the market that will give you an advantage. And it could be specific as a strategy, your technical analysis, or understanding a particular asset, you know, and traders who lack that edge often struggle. And next thing is psychological challenges. You know, trading is much about psychology as it's all about numbers and fear and greed and impatience and sabotage and revenge trading and this and that. And so even the best strategies, you have to develop the mental resilience, which I call mental mindset, and emotional discipline. All right. Over trading, excessive trading leads to exhaustion and pure decisions making, which includes revenge trading, you know, impulse trading, you know, and quality over quantity. And we have a saying in the trading room that says, we're here to make money, not to trade, not to take trades. Okay. And not adapting to markets. You know, markets evolve, things change, volatilities change, and traders who refuse to adapt to changing conditions fall behind. So you need to stay informed. And remember, trading success isn't guaranteed, but understanding these pitfalls can improve your odds. So what do you need to create trading success? The first thing you need is software that can provide you with an edge over all other traders. And also, if you have any questions, just put them in the questions box and we'll get to each and every one of them. All right. And the second thing you need is you need the edge to track the direction of money flow. So when I talk about money flow from this point on, I'm only talking about institutional money flow or institutional order flow. The third thing you need is etched in stone rules to follow. And this eliminates discretion and eliminates a lot of other pitfalls like impulse trading, revenge trading, and all that. And patience, which is the most important thing. Every day in the trading room, I have new people come in and they send me messages saying, you're so disciplined and you're so patient and this and that. And I said, and they're learning that to be disciplined and be patient. And it's okay not to trade every day. So we're going to break down the system in detail for you. All right, let me show you a few trades that we've been taking. Here's a options trade. You could trade options with it. Here's a GME, 188%. Here's a trade on 30-year bonds. Here's another trade on the euro currency. So it works on all kinds of markets. So it's likely you have a problem making money. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't even be here. We have a couple hundred people here, and the problem you have making money is that you don't have the proper tools to efficiently manage your trades. You overtrade, you revenge trade, you make impulsive decisions, you lack consistency, you trade with indicators that lag price. We leave that for the retail traders. You lack a mathematical proven trade methodology, and all this leads to blowing up trading accounts. So my commitment to you for attending this webinar today and listening to what I have to show you is to bring this to an end. So why do they say that 95 to 98% of traders go broke? Because they're following the same old things that everybody's been teaching that honestly, they just don't work. Sure, some people might be good at it, but overall, most people, these things, price action, MACD's lagging indicator, Elliott wave, divergence, Fibonacci's, all this stuff doesn't have any future predictive properties. Now, I'm not saying that the money flow tracker has future predictive properties, but it does a pretty damn good job at giving us high probability setups. So Mark Sachs has over 15 plus years in the field of applied mathematics. It's allowed him to engineer the money flow tracker software. He did work for the U.S. Navy, for the U.S. Army. He was a professor at Jefferson University. It gave him, it allowed him to engineer the software and the trade methodology that can radically change your trading performance. I have a problem talking today. It must be that thing in my mouth flopping around. You've never seen a system like this in the past. Why? Because it's totally unique. And we have over 500 traders that we trade with every morning between our 3 trading rooms, shoulder to shoulder. So before we get started, I want to share my personal trade journal. Okay, I use a program. It's called EdgeWonk. Let me see. It's an online trading journal. Come on. Every day, I do my trade performance in NinjaTrader, and then I download all the trades into an Excel file. And then at the end of the day, I click on my file here, drop it in, and it loads all my trades and the trade IG from NinjaTrader into the program. It allows me to track a lot of things. So look, our win rate is 74.50%. Our equity curve is really nice. Yeah, we've had some dips and this and that, but overall, we're from bottom left to top right. You know, we don't take trades every day. Let's see, let's go back to, let's say, oh, this isn't going to show because I have to change it to last year's. So let me just show you something here, and this will make sense in a minute. So I'm going to change this to a light color version because it's easier for me to see. So look, here's July of 2023, last July. Now, I was on vacation from the 11th to the 17th. We didn't trade on July 4th, right? So we didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in July. And look what we did in July last year, 89.86. So we don't trade every day. I'm going to show you what we've done so far this year, right? So look, January was choppy. We only did 5,500. February was still kind of choppy. There were a lot of days we didn't trade. We did 5,000. March, we killed it. We just killed it. The second week in March, we did almost 6,000. So, you know, if you go here and I go to this year, look, February, we did 5,000, right? But we didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And why didn't we trade? Because we didn't have setups. But look what we did in March. We didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We didn't trade 5 days in March, and we still did $11,400. All right. So I just wanted to share, and this is my equity curve for this year. All right. So I wanted to share my trade performance so that, I like to be transparent and I like to be able to tell people what they can possibly do. So look, the market consists of many small retail traders plus one or more large institutional traders. Now, I already said we want to trade with the institutional traders. So the money flow tracker software has 3 key metrics that determine money flow. The first key metric is triple screen assessment of order flow. The second is triple screen assessment of correlative markets using our AI engine. And the third is triple screen assessment of the LIQUIDITY for momentum. So what do I mean by triple screen assessment? Basically, 3 time frames in alignment. So we use multiples of 3. So if you're trading a 2-minute, your next higher time frame would be 6, and then your highest time frame would be 18. We trade with Unirenko, so we use range bars. So triple screen assessment, I like to keep things simple. If I have 3 time frames in agreement long or 3 times in agreement short. So the first most powerful force that moves price is triple screen assessment of order flow. So again, I could hear you guys in the background. Oh, these order flow candles. Oh my God, look at all these numbers on the left, on the right, on the bottom, on the side, on the top. It is really virtually impossible, especially in these markets where have been moving really fast, for you to make heads or tails what's going on here until it already happens. But we went one step further, and what I mean by triple screen assessment of order flow is we want order flow to be going in the same direction on 3 time frames, triple. So our order flow candles look completely different. So what we did is we took order flow candles, instead of having all those numbers, we're taking the delta of the candle. And if delta is positive in the candle, which means more buyers than sellers, and I like to refer to things very simple terms, if there's more buyers than sellers, the outline of the candle will be green. And if there's more sellers than buyers, the outline of the candle will be red. Very easy to determine, very easy to see visually, and our charts are very visual, and that's why it's so easy to learn the methodology. Okay, we have the colored background shows us triple screen assessment, and then all our indicators are these lines on the bottom, the colored lines. So the second most powerful force that moves price is triple screen assessment of the LIQUIDITY and also our hybrid candles, the wicks. Okay, so again, triple screen assessment of the LIQUIDITY is we want to see the LIQUIDITY going in the same direction on all time frames. So, our LIQUIDITY is put in those line charts, and also our hybrid candles, which have the wicks inside of them. So the wicks are very important to us because, Renko bars don't have wicks. They're just hollow. And if you want to know where price is in the bar, you have to look at your right scale to see where price is. So we created the wicks inside the bar, and we use these wicks in a very specific way. So when you have very tiny wicks, you have a lot of momentum. And then when you have longer wicks, you have pullbacks. The next part of it is the modified LIQUIDITY. So what we did is we took all these indicators, we added an algorithm, and we developed a modified LIQUIDITY. Now, the modified LIQUIDITY does not show divergence like other oscillators, but it only shows strength of trend. So the bottom line here is the modified LIQUIDITY. So when it crosses below 20, this will turn red. When it crosses above and sloping up, it will be lime green. When it crosses above 80, it will turn dark green. And when it crosses below and sloping down, it will be orange. So we want it to be dark green. And we want it to be pinned at 100 or pinned at 0 so that we get our acceleration dots. It's very important that we have our acceleration dots. So the third most powerful force is the quant lines, and our quant lines are using our AI engine, which AI used to be called neural networks. It's had like a bunch of different names over the years. Right now, everybody's talking about AI. So our quant lines, what we did was took 28 market components, and we have them examined by our AI system for correlation. Now, most traders know about correlation, and most traders don't pay any attention to it, but we do. Why? Let's say the euro currency is going up. Wouldn't you want to see the pound, the yen, the Australian dollar going up in the same direction? Or let's say the ES is going up. Wouldn't you want to see NQ, YM, and RTY all going in the same direction? That's pretty powerful stuff. It's the old saying, a rising tide floats all boats. Well, it's kind of the same thing in the market. Rising tide, all the markets are rising, they're going to rise together. If they're dropping, they're going to drop together. And that's what we want to see. So the next thing is we took it one step further and we created our C2 indicator. So now we're not looking at triple screen assessment, we're looking at quadruple screen assessment, which basically in layman's terms means we have 4 time frames in agreement, we have a solid trend with 4 times in frames in agreement. That's what gives us our highest probability trades. So basically the C2 indicator just takes 18 times 3, and that would be the setting for the C2 indicator, adds another time frame. And the C2 indicator is displayed by this stair-stepping line above the candles. Pretty simple, right? I'm building into everything so you understand. So let's put it all together, all right? So the rules and the setups, if you can follow these easy to follow rules, you should have very high probability trades. I'm not telling you that every trade is going to be a winner. I would never do that because that's wrong. Every trade is not a winner, but we win, pretty much 7 out of the 10 times, maybe 8 sometimes, but here are the rules. Pretty simple. Colored background, 3 time frames in agreement. C2 indicator, the 4th time frame is in agreement. And the reason why we created the C2 is because when you're in a range-bound, choppy market, things can go up and down, and you can have the candles and the colored background, but it takes longer for the fourth time frame to turn either bearish or bullish. And we found that adding the fourth time frame gives us a lot higher probability trades. The next thing is the trend line. So the solid line, we always want above the dot dash line. The next thing is if you get to a pivot, so this is a pivot, it's one of our areas of support and resistance that we use. So if you're trading and you get to a pivot, the candle must break. This candle broke the pivot by at least 3/4 of the body of the candle. And then you have to wait for a pullback candle to get in. The fifth thing, both quants need to be in agreement. The multiple time frame Laguerre needs to be in agreement with the quants. And the modified Laguerre needs to be in agreement with the multiple time frame Laguerre and the quants. And it must be pinned at 100 or at 0 to get the acceleration dots that we're looking for. That's the setup. This trade was 63 ticks. I don't use these triangles. I don't need them, all right? So we don't use them. All right, so look, trading with the money flow tracker rules. And this is one of the things that I really love about the software, and I've been trading with it now for almost a little over 3 years. It keeps me out of choppy, non-trending markets, which those markets usually lead to losses where most traders lose money. When the markets are trending, it's easy to make money. When the market is choppy, it's not hard. It's easy to lose money. So when the markets are choppy, we're not going to get setups. So we don't take trades if we don't have setups. And it's okay not to trade every day. There's no law that says, not yet at least, who knows what they're going to pass in Washington these days. There's no law that says you have to trade every day. Like I said earlier, we're here to make money, not to make trades. So here's a trade that I took on CL. Here are my markers. The market came down, hit the pivots, and dropped really fast. And normally on CL, when it makes a really fast drop, the 3 or 4 or 5 candles happen like in a second, it's usually an indication that it might be a stopper and it's going to go the other way. But in this case, I waited for the pullback candle. I placed my order as it's pulling back. I got filled, and we rode this all the way down for $650. That's 55 ticks. The first contract is 10 ticks. So that's 550 plus 100. So look, the money flow tracker software gives you clear and exact entries, clear and exact exits, and we have all the ATMs that are pre-configured for all the markets for you. Any questions so far? I know I've been just going pretty quick through this, but you know, it's pretty easy to learn. So if you have any questions, put them in the questions box. All right. So now I'm going to show you how I trade breakouts and how we sidestep a lot of losing trades by not getting caught up in a head fake. And yes, even using this methodology, sometimes we still get caught up in that head fake, but not very often. So here's the strategy. And let me get my pen and let me put it on a color that's easy to see. So look, the market's coming down, right? Oh, hits a pivot. Now we're waiting for it to break. This candle was the pullback candle right here. That's the pullback candle. I mean, that's the 3/4 candle. That's the pullback candle. As this candle is pulling back to about halfway, I like to use, right? That's when we place our order to sell on down close. And why do we do that? And why do we wait for the pullback candle? Because most of the time when a market breaks support, it tends to pull back to it first. All right, it's either going to pull back to it and then continue, or pull back to it and then go this way. So if the market's coming down, pulls back and goes that way, as soon as this candle closes up, our order gets canceled. Automatically gets canceled. Let me erase these and go back to my drawing, my regular thing. Right? And this has saved us lots and lots and lots of losing trades by trading this type, by using the pull back and go strategy. Here's another one. Actually, this one has my markers on it. Right? Broke. This is the 3/4 candle. Got the pullback candle. Place the order. First profit target, second profit target. Here's another one on crude oil. Here's two of them on the Canadian dollar. See, everything below is green, colored background, C2, everything. You know, it's super easy to learn. It's super easy to trade with. Either you have a setup or you don't. So now let's move on and talk about the Money Flow Tracker Auto Trader. So what is the Auto Trader? Basically, the Auto Trader follows the rules. Now, we trade it on a very large bar size, 24 Unirenko bar size. We only trade it on MNQ because of the MNQ volatility. And it does really well. Actually, yesterday, we had a bunch of traders in the room that were trading it pre-market that just, I guess, let me find this, where is it? MNQ, do I have it? I thought I had a chart up over here. I did, but I don't know what I did with it. Let's see, is it here? All right. Anyway, I usually have a chart open on MNQ, which I can show you really quickly. Super easy to do. MNQ, Unirenko. I don't know, I must have closed that chart by mistake because I need a chart to be able to show you a couple things. All right, let's do 5 days. Let's do MNQ swing trade. Swing trade. Where is my template? Oh, here it is. Yeah. MNQ swing trade. What? Okay. So here's a chart. It loads pretty quick. Let's go ahead and hide this. So look, this was yesterday morning. Right, it's April 2nd. This was yesterday morning. I got here a little bit late, but there were traders here that turned on their Auto Trader, and look what happened. Now, the Auto Trader will not trade into a pivot. Okay, it waits for the candle to break, the 3/4 candle to break the pivot. It does not wait for a pullback. We can't program it to wait for a pullback. So look, it broke the entry on this trade would be right here, right? And look how far this went. And if we exit when the 15 changes color, that's 583 ticks yesterday. And we had a bunch of people trade it, take that trade. So look, here's, it follows the rules. Here's another trade, 665. Here's one trade, 1,000 ticks. Here's another trade, 792. So what does it do? I'm always asked, what does it do? It just follows the rules. Look, here's some of the settings. We want the bias, which is the colored background, and the C2, so we check that. We want the Laguerre in agreement. Multiple time frame, we want it either red, green, or orange or lime. Multiple time frame, I don't trade them orange and lime. The Auto Trader will trade at orange and lime, right? We want the 15 and the 50 either red or green. We want the MA diff so the MA diff is how far is the market away from the 50? If the MA diff gets too far, we don't take the trade. It will not take the trade. We want the quants, either red or green. And we want to clear the higher time frame support or resistance and clear the pivots. So basically, it's following the rules I just went over for manual trading. And that's what it does. And here's what it did in 21 and 22. Here's a trade that was taken, and I was watching this, and I'm like, I got my first profit target, and I'm going, this is things I think is going to go way up. I just said, I'm going to record it. So I recorded it after the first profit target. So I'm going to fast forward. So look, we're up 402 ticks, 532 ticks, right? 500 and we ended up closing this trade 573 ticks. And I didn't do a darn thing. All as I did was turn it on, and it followed the rules. And it followed the rules. Okay, so why is this slide here? All right. Any questions so far? I know Rory, I know they've been answering the questions for me. All right. So how to pass the evaluations? It's really, really easy if you really think about it. We tend to make things more difficult than they are. Focus on the process. Don't focus on the carrot. So what do I mean? Focus on trading well. All right. Focus on trading well means take proper setups. Only trade when the markets have what you're looking for. You know, most professional traders are only, their win rates are 40% or little less, right? But they never let a trade go that far against them, right? Just remember, they're only 40% win-loss rate, most of them. But what they do is, and this is very important, they manage risk. They manage their losses. They don't focus on their wins. You know, if you manage your risk and manage your losses, the wins will come. Sure, sometimes the markets just don't follow through. You get a great setup and you got great volume, got great everything, and it's just the market just doesn't follow through. And there are days like that. But overall, you know what? Don't focus on what you're going to make. Focus on what you could lose. You know, if you focus on trading well, the profits will take care of themselves. I didn't believe that at first, but then I started doing that, and really, you know, it surprised me that, you know, that I was focusing more on what I could lose than what I could make, and I was making money and not even worrying about it. So look, the challenges or evaluations, whatever they call them, different companies have different names for them. They're tests. That's what they are. They're tests. Like your math teacher used to come around and they give you a test. The prop firms give you a test. They want to see that you could trade and make money so that they make money. You know, and these things are designed to make you fail because of the parameters they put in place, like how many trading days to pass. The trailing drawdown, which is a big one, you know, and, you know, I've had traders in the room that they say to me, you know, I'm only like $30 or $40 away from passing my evaluation and this or that, or $100 away. And, you know, I tell them, I said, switch to micros. Switch to micros. It might take you a couple more days, but you'll be happier, right? You won't be stressed out trying to get that just to pass, you know, and there's nothing wrong with trading micros. I trade micros all the time, you know, in certain markets. You know, the trailing drawdown is a big one, and I'll get into that in the next slide. And all this causes sloppy trading, revenge trading, impulse trading, and just causes a lot of unnecessary stress. So this is my process, right? So, you know, you go and you get a $50,000 evaluation account, and you're like, all right, I'm going to build this thing up to 53,000. I'm going to pass, and then I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to have funding. I'm going to be a funded trader and this and that. You know what? That's not true. You're not trading $50,000. You're trading your drawdown. On a $50,000 account, your drawdown is $2,500. If you focus on trading your drawdown, you'll be much better off. Me, I only risk 10% of my drawdown on any one trade because, first of all, my win-loss rate, even if it was 50%, I would still make money. And the next slide I will explain to you. So my max risk on any trade is 250. So like we trade NQ. Well, NQ, you know, you have to use at least a 40 tick stop. Well, if I use a 40 tick stop and I'm trading 2 contracts, means I'm risking $400 per trade. So I cut down and I trade micros to keep myself in my risk management. So if you're trading 1-to-1 and you're not at least 60% win-loss rate, you're not making money. If you're trading 2-to-1 and you're at least 40%, you're making money. Now we're over 60%, so I don't care if I'm 1-to-1 or whatever, right? But if you look here in my trade journal here, you can see that our profit factor is almost 3-to-1, right? It's almost 3-to-1. So, you know, that's why we do so well. So rather than avoid risk, take intelligent risks. And this will give you that competitive edge. All right, so is the thing can trade by itself, open in the morning and close in the afternoon for? Yes, so the auto trader, let me show you a couple of the settings in the auto trader. Okay, so that's the auto trader. So if you look here on the auto trader, you can set a max profit and a max loss for the day. So let's say you don't want to lose any more than $200 today, and your max profit, let's say if we're 3-to-1, $600, right? So if the thing takes a trade and you lose $200, it won't trade anymore for the day. And you can set the time you want it to start and the time you want it to end. And if you go down all the way on the bottom and you change this to 3630, it will close out any trade about 10 seconds before the close of the market. All right, so it's very versatile. It's, you know, everything you want, you would, you know, to do here. We have lots of traders. I mean, we have lots of traders that they turn it on in the morning before they go to work, or they turn it on and whatever, and they set the time they want it to start trading, and they go to work and they come home, and either it didn't take a trade for that day, or it took a winning trade, or it took a losing trade. But it's got built-in risk management in the strategy. So you can always keep within your risk profile. Sure, Chris, I can show that again. Let me go back. Chris wants to, is this the one you wanted to see, Chris? So we're at 3-to-1. So even if we were only 30% win rate, we would still be a profitable trader. Okay, you got it? All right, let's keep going. So look, financial freedom. Trading success equals financial freedom. Only if you're profitable. But if you subscribe and you come aboard with us, you will be surprised how easy it is to trade these markets. And again, like I said, the software keeps you out of the crappy markets that most traders lose money. So look, you have no financial pressure, you work from home, you have no boss, you have no commute, and you have the advantage of being a full-time trader and trading for yourself. And you can make as much money as you want. All you have to do is add another contract or two. So look, now the most powerful software and trade methodology is available to the small retail trader. Now, I don't consider myself a retail trader. People ask me, well, David, what do you do? I said, I'm an institutional trader. And they look at me like, huh? Exactly what I said. I'm an institutional trader. Well, who do you trade for? Institution of David. And then they don't understand. I said, I trade along with institutionals, right? So the first option you have, you have two choices. If you're making money and you're, doing well trading, continue on your current path and God bless you and have a good day. But most of you are probably in the second option. So if you take action today and join the thousands of traders that we have traders all over the world, and that trade 4 hours plus or minus a day from home and have no boss. So now look, the money flow tracker software, easy to learn. You get the workspace, it's very intuitive, perfect for beginners. Sometimes I wished I was a beginner, but you can trade any account size. We have some people that just trade with prop firms. And then we have some people that trade their own accounts and they just like to trade micros. And that's nothing wrong with trading micros. Look at this. I'll show you something real quick. Look at MNQ today. Look at the volume on MNQ today. 1,273,758,000 contracts. Look at NQ. Less than half of that, half the volume. So NQ and MNQ trades a lot more volume, and a lot of people are trade MNQ because it gives them that flexibility to be able to position size themselves to stay within their risk management. So for the first 10 traders that come aboard today, we have some very special bonuses and extra things. First thing, I just showed you, here is my market analyzer. All right, we trade with Unirankos. So we have the bar sizes up on top, and we trade different markets, different bar sizes. So NQ, we trade the 820/40. So when NQ is either red or green in this column, we go look at it. Crude oil, we trade at 2510. So we look at the 2510 on the crude oil, and if it's red or green, we go look at it. As simple as that. Now, I wanted to see the volumes. I wanted to see how many days to roll over, and I wanted to make sure my lag times weren't too high. So I added these things to it. Okay, so you'll get the market scanner, which is a $9.99 value. That's part of your package. You'll get the NDT, which is our trading execution platform. It's normally $14.99. This is what we use to trade. Sell on down close, buy on up close on down close on up close. We put our account in here, our ATM in here, and when we get it set up, we'll click sell on down close or buy on up close. You'll get the masterclass series of futures, forex, stocks, and options, which are really good. I've watched them a couple times. You'll get 1 month in my trade room. Now, our trade rooms a study was done by Dr. Allen. He did a study, and in his study, he reviewed more than 225 trading websites and evaluated them using several factors, including transparency, proven track record, assisting traders with educational materials and online support, and we came out on top. And this was published in Traders World and Stock and Commodity Magazine, and we're very proud of that. So look, this is the offer we're giving today. Normally, the money flow tracker software, and remember, the money flow tracker software is normally $23.95 a year. We're giving 50% off, $11.97 for the year and $11.97 for next year. So we're going to do it for a 2-year span at $11.97. Or some people don't like to do subscriptions, so we normally charge $59.98 for a lifetime license And today we're giving 50% off of that at $29.99. Or if you want to do monthly subscription, normally $597, we're giving $200 off for $397. And for the first 10 traders that come aboard, you will get the extra bonuses like the auto trader is a $29.97 value. We'll get that added for no charge. You'll get the NDT, which is $14.99. You'll get that added to your package at no charge. The market scanner for $9.97, you'll get that. The trade room, the videos and tutorials, and you'll get your software installed by Sir Charles. His name is Charles. I call him Sir Charles all the time. Charles will install your software for you. He'll jump on your computer and do his magic, and you'll be all set, ready to go. Okay, and for an extra bonus, I'm even going to throw in the minute chart templates for people that like to swing trade. So my commitment to you is, when you subscribe to the Money Flow Tracker software, is to help you become a successful trader. Remember one thing: if you're not successful, it's not your fault. Again, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. You're just not using the right tools. No, it's like trying to pound a nail with a screwdriver. Eventually it'll go in, but if you use the right tool, it just takes 1 or 2, 3 shots and you're in, right? So again, look, the Money Flow Tracker is totally unique and will give you the edge to trade with institutional order flow. So again, my commitment to you is to teach you not just how to read the setups. You know, I could teach a 5-year out how to read the setups. It's really easy. The kids these days will be great traders because they know video games and they know all this stuff, right? You know, but you need to develop that mental mindset you must have in order to achieve financial independence. Trading is that mental mindset kills people. You know, some people, you know, they take a trade and they have a losing trade and they start freaking out from one losing trade, you know, and my traders in the room don't do that. We had some in the beginning that were like, oh, this doesn't work, or this or that. I'm like, it works. You're just not following the rules. All right. So again, you know, some people like to talk to somebody before they make a purchase. So if you put your name and your phone number in the questions box, myself or Roy will give you a call after the webinar and you can ask as many questions as you want. Or what you can do is go over to the chat window here, and go to webinar and open it up. And there's a link here. I'm going to click on the link. Put this out of the way here. And this website will pop up on that link, right? And all you do is scroll down to the bottom. If you want to do the $11.97 for the year, just click on it. You don't need a coupon. It's already been done, right? And on the bottom here, you'll see the Money Flow Tracker software, $23.95, right? And then on the bottom, it took off 50%, and you'll get all your extras. And then April 3rd, 2025, you'll renew at the same discounted rate. So again, go to the chat box, click on the link, and it'll take you right there, and you can pick whatever subscription you want, or put your name in the questions box and we'll give you a call and you can ask as many questions as you'd like. You have no obligation. We won't call you 5 times. If we talk to you and you're not interested, you're not interested. We're not going to bother you. I hate when people do that to me, and we won't do that to you. Okay, so it's a well-known fact that 95 to 98% of day traders and swing traders are losing money. It's a fact. I've talked to some brokerage firms and they're like, Yeah, I'm telling you, people open up an account with 5 grand. I give them a month or two and it's gone, right? And this is a retail trader. He might as well just flush his money, right? But not our traders. Our traders are making money. And why is that? Well, because this institutional trader is taking the money from this retail trader. So who do you want to trade with, this guy or this guy? And we trade with money flow, institutional money flow. And that's one of our biggest edges that we have in the market. So let me answer this question. Richard is saying, follow the rules and understand the setups that occur every day. Will you make money? I have here to make money, not make. Exactly. You have to follow the rules. In trading, the rules are not meant to be broken. All right. You have to follow the rules. If I take a trade and I make an error on a trade that I call out, believe me, I get all kinds of messages. You broke the rules. That's it. You're in trouble. Most of the time, if I place an order, I catch myself before I actually get filled. But not very often I break the rules. I never break them on purpose. Right? So look, again, we're doing 50% off a yearly membership, 50% off a lifetime membership, and $200 off a monthly membership. And let me send him a message. Okay, so he said there's 4 more openings for the 10 people, but he said just go ahead and give it to anybody that wants it. All right, well, cool. So anybody that signs up today will get all the extra bonuses as part of your package. Look, it's less than $100 a month. How many of you lost $100 today or yesterday or the day before? Really, be honest. I mean, look, I traded yesterday and I lost money yesterday, right? I lost $230 yesterday. I made $844 on Monday, lost $230 and made $450 today. A lot of you are saying me. Well, this is less than $100 a month and it's super easy to learn. So this is let me go back to it. So this is a video. I mean, we got all kinds of people on here, all kinds of testimonials, but this one woman here, she was sitting in a webinar. Yeah, Richard's saying if I follow you, I make money. Well, that's fine. I'm okay with that. So she was in a webinar just like you are, and she really liked what Mark had to say, and she really wanted to learn to be a trader. So she contacted him, and he took her by the arm, and he taught her everything she needed to know. She didn't even know what a ninja trader was, right? And he sat her down and he said to her, "Okay, let me pull up a chart here." And this is a great example, right? Here's a trade. This is today at 3/5/14. This is a trade on NQ. So he sat her down and he said, "Look, I want you to do this. When you have a pink or green background and you have the thin line above the thick line going down and opposite going up, and you have everything below you, red or green, and you have these dots and you have this stair stepping line, I want you to click on the NDT that says sell on down close." Okay. So she did. For 4 months, that's all she did was sit there and watch the charts and wait for setups. And some days she didn't even get setups. So the outcome of the whole thing is that she's a 6-figure trader now, and she does not trade every day. Okay. Now, this is an email that was sent into Rightline from David, which is in my room. And this guy says to me, he's in one of my webinars, and he says to me, "I am the world's worst trader. I make money, I lose money, I make money, I lose money." He says, "I am just at my wit's end. I'm thinking about giving it up and getting a job. Can you help me?" He says. I said, "Sure, David, I can help you." Anyways, to make a long story short, he's only been in the room now for maybe 6 months, 7 months. So he wrote this in, and he says, look, he says he's been watching my room, and I'm just going to make it short, right? And he's having a success rate around 70%. He has now 7 Apex funded accounts and 7 Blue Knox funded accounts. I think now he has 10 or 12 of each, right? So then he wrote here, the money flow tracker software, along with David's methodology, it's not my methodology, but and the rules for trading allow me to act like a robot and eliminate any guesswork or motions from my trading. We use the NDT, which allows push a single button to enter a trade when we see the correct setup. So he says every day it's simple. See setup, push button, see setup, push button. Right? And this was a guy that came to me in the very beginning and told me I'm the world's worst trader. Now he's trading more accounts than me. So again, here is our offer for today. Again, if you'd like to put your name and your phone number in the questions box, we'll have Rory give you a call, or I would give you a call after. You can ask as many questions as you want, or go to the chat box, click on the link, and choose whichever subscription you'd like. Let's see. Or put your name and your phone number in the questions box, and we'll give you a call afterwards. And that's pretty much it. Any questions? Nobody has any questions? I know Rory's been answering a bunch of questions, but all right. Well, if nobody has any questions, that's pretty much all that I have. So you could go to rightlinetrading.com. If you go to rightlinetrading.com, if you don't have the link, you can always go to just rightlinetrading.com. This page will pop up. Just go to Trading Systems and click on Money Flow Tracker. And if you want to watch this webinar, a replay, you will get a replay of the webinar. Right? Don't miss out on this special offer we're giving. It's less than $100 a month. All right. I don't know how easy I can make it. Look, here's a trade today, this afternoon. I wasn't trading this afternoon because I've been fighting a cold, chest cold, so I took this afternoon. But look, we broke the VWAP. This is the 3/4 candle. This is the pullback candle. We place our order here. It gets filled. We ride it down. We hit our first profit target is 20 ticks. And then we ride it down, trail it, or we exit when the 15 changes color. This is 150 ticks. I personally like to trail them by 1 or 2 candles back. Right? But still, it's 150 ticks, one trade. This is as beautiful as it gets. It doesn't get any prettier of a setup than this one. And honestly, this is what we wait for. These are the type of setups that we wait for. And when we get them, we're just like, you know what we're like in the room? We're like a tiger or a lion. And we're sitting in the brush and we're waiting for that setup. And when we get that setup, bam, we pounce on it. And most of the time it pays us. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. That's part of trading. You have to be able to accept losses. You have to be able to take a losing trade and just let it roll off your back and not let it bother you or rattle you or whatever. Alrighty? All right, everybody. Hope to see you in the room. You will get a replay of this presentation. Have a great evening. Be safe, and God bless everybody, and especially our God bless America. We need somebody to bless us these days. So have a great evening. Again, if you have any questions, you can always call us. Let's see. We have our phone number is 786-732, or you can go to the website and get the phone number. You can always call us and ask us questions too. You know, there's no pressure. We don't do pressure sales. We don't need to pressure people. We want people to come into the room. We want people to get the software, and we want them to make money. That's my goal. My goal is with a new trader that comes to us is to help them make money, period. That's what I love doing. I love trading. I'm very passionate about trading. And I like to help people, especially people that have spent a ton of money like I have on trading and had very little results. You know, it's my way of giving back to all the shysters out there. So again, have a great evening. Take care and bye-bye.